Hey, it's Daniel, and the following is a clip from our 90-day client creation challenge, which is a system for coaches to organically build clientele for the long term.
So far what I understand is that you've reached out to a bunch of people. You've supported 7 people. I'm guessing they've gone through your sales process, and out of that, 4 were interested, and nobody has signed up yet from that. And it's been how long?
It has been 3.5 months. I looked back at my messages. They did change over time, so it wasn't like and I also did change my niche a little bit over time, so that's something too. But yeah, I looked back at, like, okay, just the calls I've had, because some of them are connection calls, some of them have been um discovery calls, right? And so yeah, basically 7 calls in 3 months that I've gotten from the process. Obviously not what you're looking for, but I think it's because of the strategy. I need to just kind of figure it out. And then there's
Okay.
4 people that expressed interest so far.
Okay.
A lot of those are in the last like couple of weeks, honestly. Those 4 really.
And so have you made an offer to these 4 people?
No, one of them, I just had a call last week and we said we would meet up this week because we were just connecting. And then he's like, I actually think this might be something for me. I'm not sure if he's going to book a call, but not 100% sure, but he definitely needs it. So I'm going to keep following up with him. So, I mean,
These 7 people that you've taken through your process, how many people have you reached out to? Do you know the original number in your network?
I don't know the exact number.
Can you ballpark it?
Let's see, since July, I would guess like 300 to 500 people, maybe.
Okay. So out of 300 to 500 people, you've had 7 people.
Great numbers.
Right.
No,
So
I don't know if those numbers are like accurate for us to go off of because of how much things have kind of fluctuated. It's the only thing I want to say.
okay, so what I would say is take a look at those numbers a little bit closer. My guess would be it's probably out of 100, close to 100, the ones that are connected to this strategy. That would be my guess. And that's not that far off. Like, that's okay. And so far you haven't even made any offers, so you don't have any conclusive data here. So you're in the process of it. So unless you've made offers and a bunch of people have said no. So I'm guessing if there are 4 interested, my guess would be at least 1 is going to sign up.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, sometimes that might happen. Now, even let's say if nobody said yes, I would still say you need to do at least another 13 call. At least go through 20, take 20 people through your process, because you're learning this. You don't know your conversion rate with this system. Take at least 20 people through, and then you will understand. That means you would have had to reach out to at least 200 people in your network. Sometimes that might be lower, sometimes that might be higher, but it shouldn't be 300 to 500 unless you keep switching strategy there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of them are cold. It does make sense. A lot of them are cold outreach, like connection on LinkedIn. And yeah, just like some of them reply, some of them don't, obviously. So I mean, that's a part of it too, but I'm kind of figuring out the strategy. I will say one other metric that's important here is out of the offers I've made, which is 6 I've closed 2. So, I mean, once I make
this includes Thumbtack.
This includes Thumbtack, of course. Yeah. Right.
How many offers have you made in Thumbtack?
I guess probably all of those have come from Thumbtack. Yeah. I think.
But how many offers have you made in Thumbtack?
Since I rebooted it, 6 offers.
So 2 have converted.
And 2 have converted.
Okay, so that might be like, if that happens repeatedly, that's your conversion rate. It's like maybe it's 1 in 3, and there if that repeats consistently. And again, unless you have done enough calls, you don't know. And then
Yeah.
the difference might be is you might know, because you've worked in Thumbtack for a while, you know how to approach those leads. And again, this is new, so it will take a
Yeah.
little bit of time for you to understand how to approach these, and you're reaching out to cold leads as well. The other thing, Mike, the other question that I have, and by the way, this is for everybody for your leads, especially if you're thinking about cold leads. The people that you've served, are you asking them for referrals, and like people you've helped and they've gone value from you? Are you asking them for referrals while they're in the process?
Mm.
You need to do that, because that gives you warm leads. That gives you referral leads.
Yes. Are you speaking to me or everybody? Just
To
everybody.
you specifically.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the 4 people that are interested, have you asked them for referrals? Even though you haven't made an offer, you've delivered value, right, to them?
Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Right. So the reason why I say this is that referred people always have a higher, I consider those warm leads. I would say hot leads, because if somebody trusts you enough to connect you with somebody directly, that is even though those 4 people might not sign up, but the first referral that comes out of those 4 people might be the client.
Yeah.
So you're going
Yeah.
through all these cold leads to create warm leads.
Right.
So and that's usually my take. If I'm following up with cold leads, I actually don't expect them to sign up, because it takes a while to build a relationship. But once I've added value, even though they're thinking about it, considering it, if they connect me to the next person, that's usually a warm lead, and I'll get that as a client while they're deciding. So this is why it's so important. And on my CRM, and I've shared this before, it looks like this: John referred by Jack. Jill referred by John. It like you can literally track where they're coming from, and and many of them have said no in the process. For example, there's this, I'm meeting with somebody, I'm doing a discovery call with this client who actually has a fairly large company, and he has 600 employees. He came in because I connected with which connects to what Jens's question. I connected to his one of the members of his executive team, and she referred me to the owner of the company. She's like, she didn't want to pay for the coach directly. She was coaching directly. She was interested. She's like, I would want him to pay for me. Can you support him? I'm like, why not? So if I can do a good job with him, more than likely he will probably pay for her.
Yeah.
And again, she hasn't said yes yet.
Yeah.
He's kind of giving me a soft yes if he goes ahead. But let's say he says no, I can always go back to her and say, okay, maybe we can come up with a different approach to this. Maybe, but the point is that happens often for me, where I'm taking people through the process, but while they're going through the process, they're already referring people to me. Sometimes that happens naturally, but sometimes it just takes asking.
Yeah. I will definitely add that to the repertoire for sure. And I think getting clarity on um like my strategy moving forward with the organic, because eventually I'd love to be able to transition to just organic, so I'm not paying for these leads. I am, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the goal.
How much are you paying for these leads?
Each person that reaches out, it's like a per person basis. So but you can get a lot of leads. It can be anywhere from 80 to $130 per person. And then
Do you get
yeah,
charged when they book a call with you, or when you just get a lead?
just when they reach out, just when they say, hey, I might need coaching, they'll fill out a small survey, and it'll say their age, their preference, different things. And then they send a message to you. And then once they do that, you get charged. So, I mean, it can add up each week if you're getting 5 leads a week, or, if you did 10 leads a week, you can see how it starts to add up. But
Right.
I looked back at what I spent in 2023 and what I made, and it was triple. It was 3x.
Okay, great. Then that's worth it. That's your marketing dollars.
Yeah.
tell you build a better process. I'd suggest you
Yeah.
take both of them forward. And again, anybody else who hasn't tried that, you can, it's not, I don't think it's that complicated. I've set up other places
Yeah.
like, it's not that complicated to set that up.
Mhm.
And also reach out to Eric if he might be able to support you on that.
Yeah, it's just the sales skills that you need to kind of like get them on a call and then, you know, present your offer. And then follow up. Those are key. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know.
So
We can help.
does this help, Eric? Does this answer your question? What we just
Well,
went
I definitely think the referrals helps. It was more about like what's for the organic reach out, getting clear on that strategy.
You don't have enough data to know whether or not your current strategy is working, is what I'm saying. So
Okay.
take at least 20 people through the process. You'll have more of a data. I have a feeling you're going to get a few clients as you do this, and know your original number, because you didn't have a clear picture of what that is, because that will tell you what's happening. The original people that you reached out to without tweaking whatever you're doing or changing your strategy completely. But you need more data. So that means the data comes out when you take people from the beginning, from the first conversation all the way to the offer. So right now it's incomplete data and you've only done 7. So
Yeah.
when you get to 20 and you've taken them through the process, at 7, I think you're going to get some good feedback in the process, but at least 20, you will understand, oh, okay, you might get a couple of clients there, or you might not get any clients. Then we can tweak the process, but you don't have enough conclusive data. You haven't made enough offers.